What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the Neighbors Podcast and the cul-de-sac. I'm Mitchell, and I'm joined here by John Shaffer.
How's everyone doing?
What's up, man? Oh, fuck!
Fucking A!
I think I can mute my mic and it'll be all right. Yeah, that's fine.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it's still going. We're good.
All right.
Yeah, I never even thought about that. Like having my text message on my computer since I've started to record it on mine. Like that someone could text me and it would go off on my computer.
So I have an Android.
Yeah, so it doesn't do that shit.
No, but my Mac
at
the studio has iMessage.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone bitches at me about my green bubbles.
Yeah.
And so I do message people off of my iMac. And so then I'm getting text messages from the iMessage on the iMac and my phone at the same time. Kind of drives me insane.
That's interesting.
Well, because I'm sending a text from an email on the computer.
Right.
Not a cell phone.
Like I can text you from my computer.
From your cell phone.
From my cell phone. But yeah, from my cell phone. Basically.
That's why I need to get an iPhone.
But the hardest part for me isn't necessarily it's sending pictures. It's not text. Like text send fine, but it's sending like pictures to you that you don't get. Or like you're sending a picture to me and it takes fucking forever.
Yeah, I don't understand that the ability and technology to send photos is still very, other than Snapchat.
Well, I mean, on with iMessage though, it goes through Wi-Fi.
So it's faster.
So it's faster. So if you're connected to the internet, it'll go up to the internet. Then you download it off and pull it there.
Just trash.
No, Android's trash. Yeah.
Android is not trash.
It's
number one cell phone company in the world.
But that's because Android is every other phone besides Apple.
Okay, I'm talking Samsung then specifically.
Samsung
is not Android's not every other phone.
Pretty much.
Android is Samsung.
No, there's a bunch of Android markets. It's not just Samsung. Other phones that use the Android OS.
I would need someone to comment on that knows what they're talking about.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure like a huge percentage of phones use the Android market and they're Android phones.
If you could go back, would you use a cell phone that didn't have all the tech that this one has?
Would I go back?
Mm-hmm. Like if a brand new Razor came out that was fast and all that shit.
Yeah.
But you can use apps.
I think like you can't use apps because there's no apps on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's just a normal phone.
And
like
email. Maybe we'll give you an email.
Yeah. Yeah, because like the old Blackberries had that. I think it would probably really help me not use my phone. I just deleted all my games on my phone. Just recently.
How many games did you have?
Like 3.
That's true.
Yeah. But they were all games that like I play for like 20 to 30 minutes and then I wouldn't play for the rest of the day.
So like games like you actually know what you're doing, not just fucking around.
Yeah, it was like do a couple different things and then all right, I'm finished. Like I have to wait to do stuff. But then I was like, I'm just wasting time. And we kind of talked about how the other day when we were hanging out how if you spend your time, like most people spend a lot of time on Instagram or on Facebook or Twitter or whatever. But if you spend your time wisely on there, like if you're really trying to build something or whatnot, like you could do a lot with it.
Like there's a few different, there's like anything else, there's different ways to use different things. And so social media can be used as a very negative output and even input. I just listened to something today where we're exposed to more negativity in one day than we were exposed to in our lifetime before the internet and social media took over.
I wonder how they measure that. Like how are they measuring negative comments in 1980?
I guess it'd just be news. How else?
Yeah.
It's the way people, I guess receive media or receive news or receive anything. Because if someone wanted to talk shit about you back in the day, like even in middle school, we're not tweeting nothing. We're not snapping nothing. We're writing it on a piece of note paper maybe and passing it along. Or saying
it to someone's face.
Or saying it to someone's face or behind their back and they never would know.
No, that's true. That is something that I hate. One of the main things, like, and there's not a lot that I hate about video games. One of the main things I hate is how much people flame and just like talk shit. Like people will just tell others to like kill themselves.
Like on live?
Yeah, it's like you would never say that shit to me.
Why do you think that is?
Because they're behind a screen.
It's always been very hostile.
Well, I mean, what would you do if you're playing football, right? And let's say you're running, someone tackles you, and he's like, you should just fucking kill yourself. You would be like, oh, dude.
Well, see,
I would lose my mind.
I've always been a little bit of a different ball player when it came to like talking shit. Like Jesse would even say this because Jesse and I played against each other at Whitworth. When he was at Whitworth,
yeah,
I was at Linfield, and every time he would hit me, he would say something, just something Jesse would say.
Yeah,
and I would just like laugh or just smile and go back. Like I don't really talk shit. So even in video games, I never did either.
Yeah, but like there's some talking shit that's like to be expected or that should happen, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But like there's a line, but I'm also one of those people who I think, like comedy wise, you can say whatever you want as long as you write a good joke about it and you can make it funny. Like you can say whatever the fuck you want, joke about whatever. That's why it's interesting that a lot of comedian writers and directors do horror stuff. Like Chris Rock is going to remake Saw. Because they have this interesting perspective in a way to go dark and making it seem a lighter than what it actually is.
That's gonna be interesting then. That's like Key and Peele, right? Not Key and Peele, but the other dude.
Yeah, it's Jordan Peele.
Jordan Peele, yeah.
Like he's fucking hilarious, but the 2 movies he's done have been horror movies. It's because they have these crazy minds where they can create this dark place but also like make it interesting and at times funny. It's
like creativity that allows them to go to places and not be stuck there.
Yeah,
and be able to bring it back in easily.
I mean, you always hear comics too are like fucking depressed until they make it, and almost none of them do.
I can imagine being a comedian.
Yeah, I mean I can imagine it, but like
the grind. I mean, I guess it goes with anything. The grind is the grind with anyone, with anything you want to do.
Yeah, it's all perspective and whatever your interests are and what makes your fucking thing tick.
Yeah.
Whatever you're really interested in, because then them going to whatever small comedy shop. That's one thing that I didn't realize when I started listening more to like Joe Rogan, Brendan Shaw, Brian Callen on like other things, not like just their podcast, but like how they talk about what they do for comedy. Tom Segura, Bill Burr, like even because Kevin Hart was on Joe Rogan not too long ago, and he talks about how he'll just go into random small comedy stores, like really small comedy places, and like do bits because he's testing it to see if it works. Like, okay, if it works in a room of 50 people, will it work in a room of 100 people? Will it work? Like, what can and can't I say?
And this is Kevin Hart.
Yeah, it's Kevin Hart. Like, that's what he does. And so, like, he'll just be like, oh, I'll randomly show up somewhere, or I'll call him and be like, hey, do you have time for me? And then he'll run, like, his new joke. That's, like, because they only get, like, 2 to 3 minute spots. So it's like he does, like, his bit. And if the bit fucking flops in front of 50 people, then he's like, well, it's probably going to fucking suck shit in front of 10,000 people.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't make 50 people laugh. So then, you know.
Testing the market.
Yeah, that's what he's doing. So, like, for him, though, and for most of the other comedians, is they do enjoy that because that allows them to get into, like, stadiums and allows them to do other shows and be funny, because that's what they want. They want people to think that they're funny. So that's a grind, though, that I didn't realize was there. I just thought they were fucking just, oh, yeah, that's just funny.
See, that's what nobody sees. Nobody sees what it takes to see what they're looking at online.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
That's the hard part, and that's one thing that, like, I've harped on the last 2 years is, like, the process of everything is so much more important than the end result.
Yeah, like, how do you get from your idea that was in your head to, like, actually finalizing it and making it into something that people can look at and enjoy? Yeah.
Like, everybody wants to be, I don't know, for example, just to bring it into context, like, let's say everyone wants to be Ninja or something of that stature.
Yeah.
Right?
I would love that.
Exactly. But no, and I saw a tweet the other day with Cole Eckel and Zach Moya. They were going back and forth about if streaming was hard work. So
it's 100% hard work.
Yeah, so
which dumbass said it wasn't.
I didn't comment on the thread because I started to tweet it out, and then I was like, you know what, not really important. But it is hard work.
If to people who have never streamed, like, and this goes for like anything, because also like it's super individual where something that's hard for you might not be hard for me.
It's completely based off the person.
But we can have a standard too. So there is an average of what's hard and what's not. In terms of physically hard work, no, it's not physically hard, but it's mentally draining, it's socially draining, and in order to make it into in order to be good at a game, you have to put in just as much effort as you do for a basketball player to be good at dribbling.
Yeah.
Or to be good at shooting. There's still that skill that needs to be refined. And every game's different. Like if you play CSGO, right? Counter-Strike, and you have your mouse is set to a certain DPI, which is dot per square inch, right? So moving a certain speed.
Yeah.
Right? So you can set it to faster or slower. And then also in the game, you have to set your mouse cursor speed to a certain thing. Well, in that game, it's going to be completely fucking different than what Fortnite is. So you have to dial in each game to be to your standard. Then you have to learn the intricacies of each game. Like, think about people who are fucking good at League of Legends. There are over 100 heroes in that game, 100 different playable characters that all have 4 to 5 different skills. And then there's a massive item, like, shop that changes based off of who you're playing against and who's on your team, how good you're doing. That's not even, and we're not even talking about the objective of the game.
Yeah.
Like, what is in the game that you actually do. That's just the base of stuff. So it's like, to learn that and to study that, like, why would reading a textbook about the anatomy of a human be any more hard work than what that was?
Exactly.
It's all studying and learning shit. So that part's the same. And then in terms of crafting your skill, and you have to be there all the time. You have to be constantly putting out. You have to live behind the screen all the fucking time.
And that's exactly like when I was reading it. It was interesting because it's like, yeah, it's not hard physically. It's not hard to me. Like it's not hard to Zach. Maybe it's not hard to you, or like maybe like Amber, like the people that I know that.
No, it's hard, dude.
No, it's hard, but it's not hard. Exactly.
It's an enjoyable hard work, but like
it would be hard for me to do that.
Sit down and play a video game for 8 hours straight and talk the entire time and hold conversation. You can't stop.
Exactly. And it is hard, and it's like it's a perspective thing. So it's like, and that's where it kind of goes into like people don't see that.
Well, the people who think that streaming isn't hard, by default, think that office jobs are not hard.
Yeah, it's
different.
very similar. But the only thing is you enjoy the.
Yeah, but some people who are really into like financing or accounting or that white collar job, like, might really enjoy that sector of it. Yeah. But that doesn't mean that it can't be hard. Yeah. Like, I really enjoyed basketball, but basketball is hard. So there's a lot of different things. I mean, I was full into MMA, but MMA sucked sometimes. You know, because like, I don't want to get punched in the face today. Yeah. You know, I don't want to cut weight. And I have to lose 20 pounds. Like, that shit sucks.
And that just ties into everything is fucking built with multiple little things or actions that will lead to whatever it is you want. You know what I mean?
There are multiple different things that lead into like the finished product that you want to have. Yeah.
And that's what people lose sight of.
Yeah, they forget that you had to stay. They don't understand that when you're editing a video or a picture, you have to move a small fucking dot 86,000 times to make sure that it's in the right spot.
People just see the video.
It didn't line up with the beat. I have to fix that. It didn't hit as hard as I wanted. I had to fix the song. Or I have to change the volume. And, like, I mean, being with you and, like, watching you do it, like, we talked about it before, I would go insane hearing that. Like, all that throughout the whole fucking day.
First 5 seconds.
For 5 seconds of the finished video, where then you need a minute and a half. Yeah. So, and I'm sure that there is like a certain level of perfectionism that
and I need to get
needs
better.
To be tossed away,
efficiency wise. Yeah. Having a process of cutting through that stuff better.
Yeah. Right. 100%. But like nobody. I mean, there's always going to be a way to make something more efficient, especially with how often like certain things change. So Illustrator might have a tool that doesn't do something, and then all of a sudden, boom, they have that tool. Well, now you have to learn how to use it in the way that it was meant to be used. Yeah. And you're like, well, and sometimes like you can find something like, oh, that wasn't meant to be used that way, but I figured this shit out.
Why do you think it's so hard for people to grasp the idea of that it takes a lot of time and like a process of things to eventually lead to one final thing? Because I always think about how all of us went to school. Mm-hmm. We went to school for how long, whatever. Right. And
like we've all lived through a process to get to
wherever you are now. Yeah. Like wherever you are now, I can guarantee that a majority of people have done what they thought they were going to do, like graduate college, or graduate even high school to
Right.
even have a job, to be in a position where they feel good.
Yeah.
Physically and I'm not mentally. I know that.
Yeah, mental is really hard, especially within our age range.
The mental, I don't even like saying mental health, even though that's the word being used.
What would you call it?
I'd just call it perspective.
Yeah, but perspective plays a part in somebody's mental health.
Yeah.
And it can vastly change the way that their mental health is if their perspective is better. But, everyone has their own chemical balance or imbalance that changes that. But I firmly believe, just because, we talked about it before, like what Coach Casey said, like the only two things in the world that you can control are your attitude and your effort. Like, I bought into that 100%. But you know how many people I talk to who don't believe that's true? Like, they believe the effort part is, but they don't believe the attitude part is. They think that other people can change the way that they feel and think. And it's like, no. Like, that's you in the moment choosing to act or feel a certain way. And there's going to be some things that rub you the wrong way, but you still have the choice to have a good attitude.
How it's going to impact you.
And how you're going to do what your next move is. I think, though, to go back to your original question of why do I think people forget or assume that there is no process to get to the finished product, it's because they really only see the finished product. So when they see which is also kind of not true, because they see Ninja or they see Summit or they see Dr. Disrespect or whatever streamer, just in this context, or even in football or basketball, like we watch preseason games
or even millionaires,
and they put fucking they put videos or things on about training camp, and people post photos of them in the weight room, so they do see part of the grind. But I think it's because they're not intertwined with that grind that they think that's how they judge whether it's harder or easier. Like, you know how many football players recently, and people that we know, who stopped playing because they're like, it's so draining. I don't love football anymore. Because it gets to a point where it's more about a business or more about the fun's taken out. The fun is taken out of why they enjoyed it in the first place.
Yeah.
I don't
even know why we did enjoy it, because there's a thing where you just kind of touched on it, and like I don't mean to stay on the process, but like it's fucking important, because it's like people need to understand that they themselves, everybody is going through it right now.
Yeah.
And I see a common thread, because just random people due to like the studio and like the different people that I've been able to meet.
Yeah.
The common thread is that everyone wants this thing, whatever it is, and everyone's different. But it's hard for everyone wants this thing, but it's hard for them to understand what it really takes to get that thing.
Yeah, it's hard. Yeah, for sure. It's hard for them to understand that it's not just encapsulates. I don't know what to say. Can't talk, but
because that goes with the studio. I'm gonna be honest. When I opened that thing, I thought I was just gonna be killing it right off the gate.
Yeah.
Because like I had a studio, I had a lot of
encapsulate. That's the word.
Encapsulate, yeah.
Yeah.
And I had like a lot of attention, but like I didn't fucking realize that I didn't know how to run a business. Mm-hmm. And then there's a lot of things that I didn't know and understand about it. And so I just kind of got hit in the face right off literally probably right when I finished. Mm-hmm. Where it was a big revamping stage. Yeah. Trying to figure out, myself, and like, what do I want to do? Mm-hmm. And so I think it is important to always, as you're going through life, like someone has a good job.
Yeah.
Don't just be happy with that. Reevaluate yourself in your situation.
Yeah.
At all times. That kind of plays into like what we've talked about with you.
Yeah.
A lot. And I would hope that I have a good feeling about it, to be honest.
Yeah, dude. I'm glad someone does. Right now, dude, I just don't. I have like this I'll say this. Like 80% of my life right now is awesome. and I know that, right? I don't ever worry about going to bed fucking hungry. I don't ever worry about where I'm going to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
I have my own car. I've just finished paying off my debt, or the majority of it besides my car. I have a job, that pays me a good amount of money compared to a lot of other people. But there's still fucking something missing. I have a great girlfriend and a great family.
Like, you got a maid, though.
Yeah, like, I have a lot. So, like, 80 to, like, 90% of my life is great. But I guess, like, when you look at, like, how much time... So, for example, the average person will spend... or, like, what is expected is 8 hours of work for the 40-hour work week to be full-time, right? That's a third of your life. And so when I think about it, so then really, like, when you do it mathematically, only, like, 66% of my life is great. Yeah. Because I don't like my job. Like, I don't want to fix people's computers. I don't give a fuck about it. Like, I just don't. Like, I don't care about it at all. Like, I really do like to learn. That's why I've been, like, poking around with Illustrator and Photoshop. And when I talk to people and ask them questions, like, oh, just send the file over to me and I'll take a look. Like, no. Like, you like to learn. Like, I want to learn it because I've done this for so long. Like, with streaming, I had so much art made for me. And it would have been way more cost effective. And
you can do it for yourself.
And I could do it for myself. And I would have had a skill that I learned to then put to the test somewhere else, or that I could have built on to potentially do something more with it. And now I'm just kind of like, I just want to learn it. But yeah, right now, dude, I just have no idea because I feel a little bit hindered by not having a college degree. A little bit.
Why?
Just because of where I'm at my job. A lot of the ways to get somewhere else in that company is you need a degree. So part of me is like, a very fucking small part, because I don't like college. Like, I like education. Like, I like to learn. I like knowledge.
Don't tell me what you're going to tell me right now.
But I don't like college.
Yeah, but...
So, like, I'm just saying that part makes me feel like I'm missing something. Because companies will be like, when do you have your degree? And you're like, I don't have one. I'm like, okay, see ya. Because you just need a piece of paper. It wouldn't even matter what the degree was in. But a huge part of me is like, I can make it work with something else because I can prove my concept, or I can attempt to prove the concept, and I can just do something where I can fill a niche in the market that doesn't necessarily need a degree. But yeah, dude, I don't want to spend $10,000, $20,000 a school year
to go get something that, again,
that like I could.
It's not a guarantee.
Yeah, it's not
to get whatever you're thinking about that's going to get you. And that's the thing. It's like people, and I've done it too. Like, and I don't want to ever come off like I know fucking everything. I don't know shit. I just know what I've been through, and I know what I've learned,
and what's worked,
worked for me.
Mm-hmm.
And so whenever I say anything, it's more of in the context of like, this is what I had to go through.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I was gonna ask, what have you ever had that fire back from basketball?
Oh, dude, you know how much time I put into streaming, and I loved it.
That's what I mean. So like, that's what I was curious is, do you have that fire that you had for streaming or for basketball since then?
No.
It's
probably not. Dude, and the other thing too is I've talked about it before, and I know like 10 minutes ago I talked about how attitude and effort is the only two things you can like hold on to. That's the only thing you can control. But I feel like sometimes a lot of my passion gets sucked out of the room by other people, because it's not to say that I have to do things alone or that I can't do things alone. For example, although you're here, I'm setting up the podcast, I'm doing everything in terms of running it by myself.
Yeah.
Like, if you couldn't have done it, I would have just done a recording and probably been done by now. Like, I would have had a quick inner dialogue of just talking shit, posing questions, and been done.
Yeah.
But I attach myself to people that eventually don't care. Like, they stop caring. They fizzle out. They don't have the same passion that I do. That's why I decided to continue to do the podcast, was because when I thought that it was over, I was like, this fucking sucks. Like, I was having so much fun doing it. and I really liked it. It's as close to streaming as I've been, you know?
Yeah.
Because this is basically streaming, but without games, yeah, and then a live audience to talk to. So maybe with the podcast, but I always feel like my life gets, or my passion projects and stuff get the passion sucked out of it, because the people that I have asked or tried to include in it, like, slowly eat at the soul of it.
So you feel like it kills your vibe for it,
right? So like, for example, like when I stream D&D, when before I was better at it too, and I think this is part of it, is like things have descended into like not really caring.
Yeah.
So before, I really cared about people showing up on time, people always showing up, like if they miss an episode, like what's going on, and I would always get on people, but then people would just continue to miss stuff. They just never cared about what we were trying to do, because there are a bunch of tabletop RPG channels on Twitch that do really well for themselves, but that's because other people bought into that. And so I was trying to get people to buy in. Maybe I'm bad at that. Maybe I'm bad at getting people to feel the same passion that I do.
But I don't think you should expect them to have that passion either.
Well, to some extent, you have to build a brand loyalty or some form of support channel.
Yeah. To
make it work, and the people who support it, like, for example, there's a rapper named NF, and when people do reaction videos on his music, they absolutely just blow up in a positive way the person's YouTube channel. Because they are so...
like his entourage, almost.
Sort of, but yeah, like they're so into Nate.
Yeah.
And they're so into his music that they're
into it.
Yeah, they just followed around. They supported. They bought in to his passion because it is a part of them too. So that's what I was trying to do. Is like, well, tabletop is a huge thing for me, and I know tabletop's a huge thing for you, like D&D.
Oh.
But like, people see Critical Role. They see these huge, like these voice actors doing this crazy stuff. Like, the Critical Role is the biggest D&D game like on this planet Earth, dude.
Really?
They went to go they're all voice actors, like pretty famous voice actors. So like the main DM, he did McCree in Overwatch, and he's done a lot of other stuff. And all of them have, man, like they all fucking have done a lot of shit. And they did a Kickstarter for $750,000 to make a 122-minute animation.
A 120.
Like one episode that was 22 minutes long. That's it.
Okay.
$750,000. Now, obviously, with Kickstarter, there's stretch goals and stuff. So they raised $1 million in 42 minutes, and they ended up raising like $12 million in 45 days.
Just based off of people.
Yeah, that's an unrealistic expectation for me to have, that I could be able to build something like that without any help. Mm-hmm. Right? And so that's what I was trying to say was like, look guys, the Critical Role is that thing, but they're only on Thursday. There's 6 other days of the week. Mm-hmm. It's like, look at all these other channels really trying to do it, but look at their channel. Their mics and their shit sound awful. The video quality's bad. The people aren't interesting. They're not funny. They're not creating like a cool story. They're just there doing whatever. And like, we could really do something. Like, we could, if we just put in some effort, but nobody, like, people would for like a week, 2 weeks.
Related to D&D specifically.
Specifically with that, but like, I mean, it was that way with MMA. Like, you know, people told me that they were going to come fucking train, and they would bail and ghost for weeks, and then act like I was the asshole for like trying to figure out what was going on with them. People have done that to me with streaming. It happened to me with the fucking podcast.
And that's where it's the biggest thing I've learned. I'm sure maybe you fully understand it now as well, is that like, same thing with studio. I thought everyone was going to be gung-ho. Like, gung-ho for work. Yeah. Like, you know, to get busy, like, start working on their own shit. But, like... and
because now you had a space for them to do so. Well, I was saying this the other day, too. I've always liked the things that I've liked, pretty much. D&D is new because the stigma that was around D&D for me was like these nerds wear fucking capes and they run around yelling like saying like lightning bolt and they fucking like, that's their life, like that's their thing. Like they think that the game is reality. Right? I'm sure that there are people who play D&D who are like that. In my experience, there's not a lot of like super weird people that I
see. That was the perception.
So so that's the reason why that's new. But like I've always liked to write. I wrote a 50,000 word plus book in 27 days in July of 2014.
Where is it?
On a computer somewhere. I wrote another book that was 150,000 words. That took me a while. But like I've always liked to write. I've always liked to do that thing. But I haven't had that like it's hard for me to get people on board. And now I have all these friends who are now interested in like the creative shit that I'm interested in. But like turning 27, it's just this weird thing too, because I have to like fight that internal and external what I'm being told and like the society barriers that like have been placed in my head and everyone's had for a really long time. It's like just this weird dichotomy of shit that I had to go through. But yeah, it's just like my basic point was I was super creative before. I've always been super creative. All my friends were like, no, like they weren't into it because they had other shit which I understood, but because I didn't have a place to like,
it was a timing thing,
shoot it, like do whatever the fuck I wanted with them, and now they all do. Now I'm feeling like, damn, there's something that I can do within it, but now I'm gonna be 27 next week.
What does that mean? Well,
like in my head I had ideas of what I wanted to have, by this
27.
Time. Not necessarily by 27 specifically, but like in this age range.
Yeah.
What where I wanted to be. Like I love being at this house and I love my mom, but like I want my own place too, and I've been working on that for a while. And because I think that's the other thing too is like I've been working on that for over a year of like getting out of debt, saving to buy a house. But now I'm so fucking unhappy with the thing that gives me the money and the opportunity to buy it that I want to like jeopardize buying it because I don't want to fucking do that thing. But then if I leave that place, then that goes away. It just does for 2 years unless I have fucking cash. But just the way that mortgages work and things like that, like I'm not buying anything for a while. Which means that the people who are connected to me, like Tanya, they suffer too. In quotations. Suffering could be very short term and it could be long term, but it means that their life is affected in some way.
Is there a reason why buying a home is so important other than any financial gain?
I want my own place and I want to be able to eventually have a wife and eventually have kids. And
yeah. I meant like before you're 30 at least. Because right now you're on track to do that.
To
buy a home before 30.
Other than like just my own like goal to have it, no, not really.
It's just more of a stamp.
Yeah, it's just more of what like I was like, dang, like I'm watching some of my other friends who are buying houses and I'm going over there and I'm like, I want that, But then I look at like you and I'm like, dang, I want that. Like I want to be able to like quote unquote work for myself. I want to be able to do my own thing.
And hustle.
And I want to find that thing that I want to hustle for. And
I think you like communicating.
I love social things for sure.
And it just hit me like during this conversation, the fact that you like to stream, and the last thing I said, like for the feeling of basketball, and this has been the next thing. And it all has to be surrounded by communicating or getting a word or a message out to other people, writing a book.
Yeah, I like being creative, and I think that books allow me to, go down a rabbit hole of like whatever the fuck I want.
And share a story.
And share something that I think is interesting and share a story, yeah. And then with streaming, it wasn't so much of creating a story, like, I don't know if you know who Dr. Disrespect is. He basically has that's his persona when he streams. When he's not streaming, he's not that thing. So when he's streaming, he wears a wig, a black long wig. He wears like sunglasses.
That's tight.
And he's like a kind of a troll. He wears like this red like vest that's like a like bulletproof style kind of looking vest. And he's got like this kind of 70s, 80s. I don't know if that's 100% correct what he's going for, but like
it's a character.
That vibe, it's a character. He's created something, right? When I was streaming, it was never about that. It was like trying to get people to realize, how much fun you can have if you choose to have fun. You can just as easily choose to not have fun, but you can choose to have fun, or you can put your work, whatever you want to do, like start doing that thing now, plant those seeds. You don't have to do these things, because I feel as though I've had some support, but also at the same time, I've had a lot of people tell me like, no, there's a path, like get on the path, do that thing.
There is, I listened to this one, there's the path, and it was the path that we like envision that we're supposed to go on. Yeah. And just like to your point right now, like in your life right now, everything that you've done probably has not gone according to plan.
No, dude.
At all.
There's some stuff that definitely has.
Yeah.
And then other stuff like, no, I didn't plan on moving to Colorado, being fired in 2 months, and then streaming to try and make money. Didn't plan on that one. It worked out, sort of.
It did work out.
Well, like, I had to, like the last month, I had to borrow money.
The thing that blows...
made it 7 months, though.
That's what I mean. The thing that blows my mind about that whole... Because I had no idea that you just kind of did what I did. I said, fuck it. I'm going to do this thing.
To some extent. Yours was a choice. Mine was like, well... like, you chose to leave.
Because I had to.
Not because they were forcing you to.
Maybe not actually, like saying it, yeah. But I was miserable.
Yeah, I'm miserable right now, for sure. But what I'm trying to say, I'm just saying that like they told me I had to go because I streamed, pretty much. They wanted me in the office, dude. It's such a fucked up scenario that like when I think about it now and I like replay it in my head,
they break it down. Like
I'm like, how was I so now, fucking stupid?
Yeah. So what?
Well, I've talked about it before, but just to hit everybody with it again, I was working for Cinetopia, which is a movie theater, and then this is when I got back from Amsterdam. So after I had done some stuff with my cousin to kind of like learn different things business-wise, he had introduced me to one of his friends, Daniel Jacobs, and he was starting this company called Avenue. Avenue was a company that was putting together like really quick videos with authors and influential speakers and people of interest that would create these programs that would be given then to employees every day for a month. That was like the program. And it was going to be programs and teaching and education on like procrastination, management, just shit like that. Shit that would help people in the workplace. I thought the product was fucking asshole. Like I thought it was stupid.
Really?
Yeah, because I think that like imagine going to work for anybody, and every day they're like, did you watch your educational video?
I've been there.
You have to listen to it every 30 days. All this stuff, right? Like it just seems stupid. Like if people are looking for like motivation like that, like they need to get it from that to feel productive, they're probably in a really shitty environment already. That's why they're not being productive. And so like I thought it was like butt cheeks, but I was going to be paid a decent amount of money, and I got to work from home, and I was getting to be paid more than what I was working for Cinetopia. So it's like, hell yeah. So I worked at home, and this was my routine because I had a certain quota because I was contracted. I had a quota that I had to hit for sales leads. Find people for the company to email so that if they got a response, our salespeople could reach out and then sell the product, right? Well, the people that I was having a blast because the people that I started working with, like other people on the sales leads, weren't dumb, but they were working hard, not smart. And so I was like, dude, I know exactly what I'm going to do. Mm-hmm. And so I started doing my idea, which was basically to look up like a mall and then look at all the companies that are in the mall and then hit up all their, like, find the emails then. And I landed, well, I helped land because I didn't sell it, right? I didn't sell the pitch, but I landed 5 Fortune 1000 companies. Because of my, like, work, I found the lead that led to the sale.
Yeah.
So, right?
I'm more tracking about that, yeah.
Yeah. So then because I was doing so well, they wanted to move people out to Colorado, to Boulder. And so I was like, okay, that sounds cool because I'm doing good, I'm performing well. So I gave the CEO Daniel an offer or a letter of what I wanted. So basically, an offer letter, like I'm getting paid this money now. I want to get paid this money when I leave. Like all that
because they were asking you to move.
To move, yeah. Like I'm not going to move and get paid the same amount of money to like relocate. I had to break my lease. I would have to sign a new security deposit, new lease somewhere else. I was going to be moving away from home. So I sent him some shit. Then a little while went by, and then I asked him and said, "Are we good?" And he said, "Yeah, we're good." And so I broke my lease. I put up the U-Haul, and then on the day before I fucking was leaving, we had a conversation, and I was like, "Okay, so yeah, we're still good for what I sent." And he's like, "You didn't send me anything," and like he was like, "We only agreed on this," and they had never had a conversation with me on like what raise I was gonna get, other than him agreeing with what the offer I sent. And so looking back on it right now, I would have said, I'm not coming, and I would unpack it would be a really big bummer for myself and the roommate that I had because he was coming with me too. It would have been a bummer, but like it would have been better because I'm better subjective, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm very happy with what I decided to do and
how things
and kind of how things went. Yeah, there are some things that suck, but I'm not regretful. And I don't feel bad about it or guilty.
Learn from it.
But yeah, like in hindsight, I would have saved myself from that shit because it didn't need to happen because it like fucked me for other things too, like credit card debt and stuff. So then this is the bullshit that happened. So I was like, okay, fine, I'll go. Like because I'm packed up.
So they said like, no, we didn't agree on nothing.
Yeah.
We're like, fuck it.
So I was getting paid $1,800 a month, and $1,600 a month, and I wanted to get paid $3,200 a month. So I wanted them to double what I was being paid. Because I was moving and I was doing good and I wasn't seeing any revenue from the sales we were making that I was basically getting.
Yeah, you weren't getting commission off of those.
I was doing all the work to get them in the door, and then it was just somebody else who said a few words to sell it, right? Which I understand that that's a skill in its own. I'm not saying that I have that skill.
Yeah, don't lose the perspective of how hard that is.
But I'm saying that I believe that I still deserve part of the cut that we were making.
Yeah, you're.
And so that's why I said, well, if I'm not, they said we're not going to do like sales commission like that. Well, it's like, okay, well, I'm going to try and make my money in a different way through the company. And the thing was that I felt like, and I had talked with my cousin, because it was going to be somewhat expected of me to learn the sales approach then and be someone who was selling it so that the CEO didn't have to sell it the entire time, which makes sense.
Yeah.
But because that was there, I was building in what I wanted to be paid and being told yes. It's like, okay. But then it turned in from that to being a $900 raise. So not terrible.
Still a raise.
Still a good sizable amount of money, right? But then when I got there, they told me that they were going to pay me for breaking my lease, pay for my U-Haul expensive, and pay the security deposit to get in. They didn't pay. They only gave me like $3,000 total of all of it, and breaking the lease was $1,000 alone, and then like to rent the U-Haul. And so like again, then if I would have done it differently, if I would have known that they were only giving me X amount of money, which they didn't fucking mention, I wouldn't have brought as much shit as I brought.
Or get stuff in contract.
Yeah, or get other shit written down and signed for, not based off of his verbal shit, which was really frustrating because like I felt like I could trust him and all this. So anyway, so then I get there and everything's okay, but all the places in Boulder are hella expensive. Really? So I go, yeah, like really, because it's like, it's up and coming, like Beaverton was like a few years ago.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's you know, because the college is right in Boulder.
That's
all this stuff. So I lived in Longmont. So it was about a 30-minute commute.
I didn't know you lived there.
Yeah, and so I lived in Longmont, and I would drive there, but I didn't want to spend all my time in the office. And I very quickly turned into office bitch. Like, go get that thing. Drive to Walmart, or drive to Target, or drive to IKEA, and do all this stuff. And then, so it's not even my fucking job, right, to do that shit. But I was like, I was trying to be a team player, you know? I was like, I'm here. I'm going to put my effort in, put my, you know, tie my shoes and fucking do this shit. And then later I would get in fucking trouble for like taking too long, or like for doing something, or like not doing something. Like one of my responsibilities didn't get done because they asked me to go to IKEA and somehow it was my fucking fault. Like they didn't just assume, they didn't just take the fucking responsibility. So then I was unhappy with the place. So I was like, I'm not going to keep coming in when I can do all this shit from home. and I can do it at midnight. So like when I lived here, this was my thing. I woke up really early on Monday. I did
You got excited to get up on Monday.
Sort of, but like I would do 90% of my work in early morning. I would not listen to anything. I just went just zoning out. Then around like I don't even know, like my roommate would wake up and then we would like go to the pool because I started working there in summer. We'd like go to the pool and then I'd come back, eat lunch, and I would do the last 10% of my work. Go fuck off again. Then during the nighttime when I was kind of like done with stuff and I would stream and then I was done. Well, I'm like a night owl, right? Like I don't really like to wake up early. I can stay up really late. I don't know how I got this gene either because my mom will conk the fuck out. One time, I was literally talking to her, like we were having a conversation. Like she asked me something like, "Oh, what did you think about that episode? I really enjoyed this part." And I was like, "Oh yeah, like I like this and this." And I looked over and she was already fucking asleep. So I don't know how
I can see her. Your mom's funny though. Your mom's hella funny. She always has been. Mm-hmm. But I could just see her like, because she's kind of like, not, I don't want to say dramatic, but like she's has a lot of character.
She does have a lot of character.
Hey, so I just see her like.
Yeah, she's out, and then like my aunt, my uncle, my cousins, like almost all of them are like that. Like they can just start falling asleep. So like I didn't get that gene.
Yeah.
It's like me. So then, but like at nighttime, then I would do like 25 to like 50% of my work for the next day because all my stuff was basically due like at the end of the day. So like so then when I woke up,
it's done.
When I woke up on Tuesday, I would do what I did on Monday, do all my shit 50%. But it's less because then I'd finish Tuesday's work at like 10 a.m. And then I would start Wednesday's work in the afternoon. And I would just continue like that. So basically by the end of the week, I didn't really work Friday because I had already gotten all that shit done.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I'm way more, like I've done way more for this company when I lived in Oregon by myself, not coming to fucking meetings. Because they had a meeting every morning.
Not coming into the office.
It's like this fucking startup company that wants to have that like startup fucking culture of like ping pong table and like a cool place to hang out. But it's like never fucking sit there and never play that shit. It's just there to look cool.
For the perception.
Yeah, because I would get in trouble for fucking playing ping pong. It's like, I have a contract, dude. Am I doing that? Oh, I am? Then stop talking to me.
Those are just bad owners.
Yeah, dude. Okay, here's the other thing too. Is at the beginning of it, they had us send out emails as if we were them. So we would sign it as if we were the CEO. Right? And so I asked him because I was very new to this kind of stuff. So I was like, how would you word an email? Can you teach me like your verbiage, your cadence,
your voice,
how you do shit? Yeah. And the CFO, his name's Prosper, he was like, if you can dream it, you can do it. That's what he fucking said to me. I was like, you guys sell like educational training videos and stuff, and that's the fucking shit you're going to tell me? It's like, no, I know I can do it. Like, I know I'm physically capable of typing and doing this shit, but I don't know how you talk. I could literally write anything in these emails. I could have crumbled their shit so fast, burned every bridge before they even knew about it.
Yeah.
I could have done whatever. And any person in that site could have done something very malicious, right? So anyway, I was like, all right. And then later, after a bit, like a couple days later, I think they let me go. And because I woke up and I didn't feel great, so I stayed home. And I still worked a little bit. Like I still had shit to give them, but I didn't have... It was either going to be on a week or a daily or weekly basis. So like I either needed X amount a day or X amount during the end of the week. But the week was the main quota that needed to be met.
Yeah, it's like you better rush for 1,000 yards for the whole season, but you might get those yardage throughout multiple games.
Right, and so like if I miss a day, it wasn't that big of a deal because it would be made up. But I still had worked, and then I went to sleep and I got up at like 7. So I slept most of the day, 7 p.m. And so I started streaming because I felt way better. It was just like I've had like this weird like cold headache, like all this shit.
That's why
I got fired.
Because they saw you on there or something?
Yeah, because they like saw that I had went live.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. And so like now looking back on it, because I had met all the shit that they had said that I needed to do, maybe I don't know if there was like I maybe would have talked to somebody like in terms of like a legal representation to see if there was anything that I could have done.
Yeah, because you were on a sick day, right? You took a sick day or no?
Like sort of like they didn't give me one because of the contract, but because my contract was on a weekly basis in terms of like I need to hit this goal.
Yeah.
That like they didn't wait until Friday to see if they were short,
Maybe they were just looking for a reason.
Yeah, maybe they were looking for something else or whatnot. But it was like, dude, like, you guys realize, like, I just moved out here? Like, I did all this shit. So anyway, then in my head, I was like, well, my life fucking, I'm here, and I've been streaming, and this game just came out, because it wasn't that long ago, like, that I had went to TwitchCon, so I was still, like, on fucking fire from fucking, from being there. This was in 2015.
Like, excited to be there? Or were you there for a reason?
TwitchCon, I went because I was new to Twitch. It was the first one that they did, and so I was like, oh, I get to go talk to all these people that I've been listening to and watching. Yeah. And I can, like, talk to these big guys who are, like, really popular. I can meet people, network, do all this stuff, right? So that's why I was there. But when you leave, like, they pump so much, like, hype into you. They do a really good job of it. Mm-hmm. And so I'm like, yeah, I'm going to fucking stream, right? And I was already on a high because I went from 2014 when I started in October to 2,000 followers. And by the next year, or before a year.
And at that time, Twitch is like 4 years old.
Yeah, not like SNTV was around, but like Twitch itself was like very new. I mean, it's still for a business relatively new.
It's very new still.
But I was, so that's just like, I was still on a high. I was like, and I found this game that I really enjoyed, and I was playing that, and it was beta, and it was kind of a smaller game, and so people really weren't into it because streamers are super pretentious and only like name brand shit. Pretty much. There's like those people, and then there's people who play indie games. Yeah. Oh, this isn't fucking Blizzard. Like, that's how they act. Yeah.
This isn't McFlurry.
Yeah, like that's just ice cream in a cup. That's a McFlurry. You know what's crazy though is how McDonald's has done that to us for the McMuffin, like the egg McMuffin.
Done what though?
It's a croissant sandwich with egg.
Yeah, like, just perfectly shaped.
But like I call it a McMuffin even if I'm not at fucking McDonald's.
Isn't it a McMuffin?
Not like if it's not from McDonald's, it's not a McMuffin. It's just an egg sandwich, right?
Oh like yeah. They've created like their own.
Yeah, so like, or when I get nuggets, like I'm never like, can I get nuggets? Can I get McNuggets?
McNuggets.
I just call them McNuggets. They've done a really good job of that. So anyway, this game was like had the capability to propel me really far forward, and it did, dude. It was called Paladins, great game. I played professionally, got paid for tournaments. Like never won a tournament, but got in third place. I got paid hourly to play the game. Like I was getting paid more an hour to play the game than I was at my job here.
When you break it down per hour,
per hour, I was getting paid $12 an hour, and I was getting paid. Like, I can't remember what the minimum wage
whatever it was, but you were working
I was making
a lot.
More, and I was working, and so But that's what I decided to do. I just decided to like play the games, and I had some money saved up, and I was just hoping that I could like break even every month, or dip into the savings a little bit. And I mean I've told this story before, but one day rent was due the next day, and it was like noon, so I started streaming, and I had $7.38 in my bank account, and rent was $800, and I was like, I'm so fucked, like. And I've waited this long to like ask for help. Like, I'm fucked. That night, I think I made $2,200. Didn't tell anybody, right?
Paid your
so
rent.
I didn't say, hey guys, like I'm really hurting. Like,
that's crazy.
Can you guys help me or anything like that? Like somebody donated like $100, then the next person donated $110, then the next person donated $150, and they just started. They started like trying to outbid one another, and. So it was awesome. I was like, fuck, yes, right? Like, with that money, I was like, I bought myself 2 more months, And
it probably wasn't even about, like...
It wasn't about the money because now I had money to spend. It was about now I have just enough money to continue. Mm-hmm.
To do what you're...
To do what I really like to do. Yeah.
Every day.
I was having a blast with
it. You didn't make buku bucks.
No.
Didn't make a bunch of money.
Yeah, I made more money when I got home from it than... Like
I have like literally chills right now because like that's what it is.
Yeah, and I had a really fun time of like building community, like the Jon Snow Longclaw sword right there. That was a gift from a stream from a viewer. I've had viewers come visit 3 times.
And you did this with no plan?
Oh, dude, no plan. I was streaming off an Xbox before like Mixer, so like it was like it's really hard. They had a built-in app for Twitch so you could stream off of it, but it was ass, dude.
Trash.
It was trash. You couldn't see follow alerts. You couldn't see anything.
Yeah.
You couldn't, like, it was bare minimum shit. And then I streamed off of my mom's, or like our family office computer. And I played The Sims because it was all it could do.
I love The Sims.
But like but even at the time, like now I have a second monitor and a TV. I had a laptop screen to read chat off of, and not like, or I had to read off my phone. I didn't have 2 monitors.
Yeah.
I had nothing. I never played a real computer game. Like the computer games that I played were like Diablo. Like I didn't play games with a mouse and a keyboard that were like FPS games. There was no skill level that I had.
Yeah.
To like get into it. I didn't even understand computers. I still fucking don't, and I'm a tech. Like I don't understand like certain things about them. I just don't. I can't put one together. I just can't, right?
But you can use one, or at least you'll figure out.
Yeah, I can but like then I learned stuff about OBS. I learned stuff about noise gates. I learned stuff about all this stuff. But one time Eno came over and we did Thirsty Thursday, and we had to do the craziest fucking contraption.
For Twitch?
Yeah, for Twitch. Mm-hmm. Just so that we could see it from his laptop onto the TV, and we both could hear the game volume, and we can both, we can do everything together. And it took forever. And then when we played,
He was in here?
He was here. Like, we were sitting right here streaming together. And, then, like, I wish I still had my old Instagram, but I deleted it. Like, I had my webcam that I used to start. It was like one of those little ball ones.
Oh, I remember those.
That were like sick at the time, or like when they first came out. But this was like way old.
Like 240p
maybe.
quality.
Yeah, maybe.
MySpace videos.
Yeah, it was like you used that webcam on your computer because you didn't have a Mac that had a built-in webcam on it, and you wanted to take photos.
We were too busy
like
going to the
like,
mall and taking Mac photos.
Yeah, like stupid. Yeah, it was like that. And they're asshole, dude. And so we were playing a game. We were playing Outlast, which is a horror game. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, this is a perfect game. I was like, okay, I'll do a one shot per follower I get. And at this time I had like maybe 20 fucking follows. So I was like if I get 5, whatever. I'm
one
good.
Shot. What do you mean?
Alcoholic shot.
Oh shit.
We had 19 followers in less than 2 hours, and that's how many. Like I threw up that night on camera.
Where is that footage?
It's on YouTube somewhere.
That's tight.
Yeah.
Not the throwing up part, but...
Yeah, so for the longest time, like when you get a follower, there's like an alert, and if you're really big, like they're silent or not even on stream anymore.
Yeah.
But like for the longest time, it was the sound clip of me throwing up and like, saying something. Like you can literally hear me go, bruh, and then Eno just goes, oh shit, son, you just threw up. And so my username on Twitch was Bacon50. And so because it had like a pig kind of theme, I had my cousin make a pig that then like tilted his head and it would like look like he was throwing up, and that was like the follow up.
So every single time someone followed, but
yeah,
oh shit, son, you just threw up.
Yeah. To get like I think I there was 19 followers, but I don't think I got to 19 shots. I think I got to like 16. But Eno just kept going. He kept doing this thing. Like kept going. I'm just gonna run it off. I'm just gonna run it off in the morning. Like it's cool. Like no, dude. It's been an hour and a half, and you are 18 shots deep. You should be dead.
Yeah, 18 shots.
Yeah, it was a lot. We drank.
And you're not a drinker.
No, we drank the whole 5th of Jaeger.
Oh my god.
Yeah, which is about 30 shots, so 15 per person. So, anyway, he was so drunk that he was trying to pour shots with the bottle where the cap was still on the bottle, and he just kept tilting the, like...
and Eno's not a drinker either, bro.
So, like, that's how bad it got. But, like, that was the beginning, and it turned into something really, really cool and really amazing. Like, at one point, I think I got to, like, 22,000 followers.
That's, like, fun. That's, like, a creative way to game...
Yeah, that was my view, was, like...
Your entertainment.
Well, yeah, it was entertainment for me, for other people, and it was socially fun for me. But like that's how I viewed it for a really long time. I was like, well, if I'm gonna play games, I might as well stream. Why not?
Exactly.
And then like things happened, and it didn't work out. But then I like found the podcast. But then so it took a long time for the passion to get kind of sucked out of that. And I found the podcast, and it didn't take that long for some of the passion to get pulled out by some people.
Yeah.
And now, but like I love like just sitting because we would have this conversation at your studio right now.
We've had
maybe
it.
Not instead. Yeah, we've had it right. Like, but we that's why I enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's just because I can sit down and converse with somebody and hopefully have the genuine conversation I would have if the cameras or the microphone wasn't on.
I think it's so when you think about something. every time that you've said fuck it and did it, how has it panned out? So I instantly think of your streaming thing.
Yeah.
Said fuck it and did it. It sounded like it was a great fucking time. Yeah. MMA came out of nowhere. You all of a sudden, Mitchell Health went from shooting hoops to throwing right hooks. And I'm like, you're going to get your ass beat. Mm-hmm. But what'd you do? You said fuck you to everyone. And you went 2-0.
Which I guess I can appreciate.
You went 2-0.
Yeah.
And then you just stopped because like whatever.
Yeah, I felt accomplished. I felt like I accomplished what I wanted to get out of it. You know what's funny? It was after my first fight, and I won, and people like found out. Well, they did the FCFF, which is the Full Contact Fighting Federation for Oregon. Like it's like the bigger amateur scene.
Yeah.
They film everything and they make a DVD of all the fights.
I think I saw your fight. Yeah.
Yeah. So both my fights are on YouTube. But like, I remember I got it and I brought it over to Doug's house, and I remember his stepdad, Simon, was like, "Oh, dude, like none of us thought you were gonna win," and I was like, "All right, like I didn't like no one."
I wouldn't have said that.
Well, that's what he said.
Yeah.
So like who knows what kind of conversations they had, but it was similar to what you just said. Like,
yeah.
He doesn't do this, so what the fuck? And so yeah.
And like it's not like necessarily a bad thing, but I was saying it more in the context of like every time you've done something that makes me go, what the fuck? It's worked out.
For a short period of time, yeah. Nothing really long running. Really long running.
And that's due to other shit that you can't really control, but it's things where you are fired up about.
Yeah, that's the hardest thing, dude, is like you can't control other people's lives, so when you're streaming and people don't show up, it's not because they don't want to, it's because they can't.
Yeah.
You know? And that's really hard.
For you to, like, see or grasp?
No, it's easy for me to grasp, but it's really hard to go through because you're like, oh, yesterday at the same time I had 120 people watching me. Now I have 4?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? Like, what did I do? So that part's, like, super stressful.
But it should be also fun, I feel like, for you, who is an analytical type of person, to be like, why? Why the fuck?
But I stopped streaming not too long ago, but, like, when I was, like, 24-ish area.
Damn. That is a long time ago.
Maybe that might be not... I don't remember when I stopped.
I remember when you first started. James told me about it.
Yeah.
And, like, James is James.
Yeah.
You know how James is. And... honestly, I was more on my mindset was like, I mean, fuck it, I guess, like, kind of see what happens. Mm-hmm. You can never knock someone for trying something. That's what I used to do that a lot, like not even just to like anyone doing something.
Yeah.
I used to kind of be like, that's not practical or that's not realistic.
Yeah, I hate the word practical and realistic.
And that's where I've learned and I've grew, where it's like being realistic, and I said this before, is the most common road to mediocrity. Like, being realistic is doing what everyone feels like is realistic and practical.
Yeah.
And it's times when, like, there's no story that is ever told where they're doing the thing they're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
And then, like, it ends up being something huge.
Yeah.
It's always the fuckers that do something crazy. Yeah, it's the idiot. It's the ones where people are like, dude, you're an idiot. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I 100% get it. It's hard to walk yourself down that plank, though.
To jump?
Yeah, but like I've done it a couple times, and you've said like they've worked out, but like I'm still back here, so they haven't fully worked out. But I'm on the path I think to finding it.
I think I'm slowly finding it out right now.
Just right now.
The more I'm thinking,
just like, ugh, I don't know what to do with my life.
But
7. What the fuck?
But like,
you ever think that though?
I hope you know that's okay.
No, I do know it's okay. But did you ever think that when you were 18?
Dude, my life.
You're like, when I'm 27, dude.
Yeah, if you want to be honest, like I could tell, like I thought this shit was gonna be different when I was in high school.
Yeah.
Like when I was in high school, football.
Yeah.
I was gonna get a scholarship. You know, I was gonna go to the NFL. Mm-hmm. Like, that's what I mean. I thought was gonna happen.
At what point did you realize like that shit ain't happening?
It was probably when like when Thomas really like started to, he was really good as a sophomore. But his junior year, there's a specific play where Thomas was playing against Sunset.
Mm-hmm.
And
you were done though, right?
I was done. Yeah. I was just watching. And he took the ball and split like two defenders that were relatively 2 yards away.
Yeah.
And he just split them and went 40 plus yards. And at that moment, I was like, holy shit. Yeah. That's the difference. Yeah. And it's something that I can't control. I worked my ass off. I'm never going to be that fast.
Yeah.
Or that big. And that's when like realism and being realistic, I Makes guess, sense. Settled in. I was like, okay, you got to be practical, dude. You ain't going to the league. And that's fine.
Yeah.
Because I always thought my parents wanted me to.
I think a difference too, though, is like you let yourself be impractical and then learn what was like.
Yeah.
Like you let yourself like dream that you were going to go to the NFL, probably regardless of what other people said to you. You let yourself do that, and then it took you that moment to realize like, okay, that's not true. But all the time before that, you gave it your all to be it. So I think that's kind of different. Because in my experience, what I would do would be like really analyzing it, you know? Like my sophomore year, like I wanted to be in the league, but I never thought I could be in the league.
Yeah.
Like
I genuinely thought I was going. Like I was like, I can do this. I can ball.
Well, I shouldn't say I never did, but like I learned pretty soon that like that just wasn't going to happen. But I still like quit other sports for it. I put other things in my life on hold. Like I still played a lot of it. And I didn't even go to fucking college like for it, you know?
Because you liked it.
Yeah, I liked it.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
And like...
But like I never let myself like be that impractical. But for a long time with streaming, I was like, oh, I'm going to fucking do it. And I was talking about numbers the other day with somebody, but like 22,000, I was in the top...
It was me.
It was you, yeah. It was
top
you.
1,000.
I was in the top, like 12,000 streamers, and at that time, every day there was 2 million unique channels that went live. Just went live, not that existed. Like everybody who has an account has a channel, but like of the ones who stream, 2 million stream a day. And I was, so like, that's not every single one of them, so the number's quite, like, it's huge. But I was in, like, the top 11 to 12,000 of that.
You were doing it. You were on the path.
Yeah, I was there. And like I said, it was just, like, something happened, and, like, passion and my feelings of being able to do it and, like, letting me go, well, it's going to be a rough road, and I can probably figure out something else to do that will get me the things that I want to get. But yeah, like now it's just trying to refine that because I don't think that it's streaming anymore.
I don't think it is either.
Yeah.
I think that's what I mean. I think it has to do with it. Has to do with
something I've learned from it for sure.
When you peel it back, the communication side of it.
The social side of it. That's why I like the podcast.
That's where I was gonna.
It's way easier schedule to keep up with.
This?
Yeah, dude. In December of 2014. Yeah, of 2014, I came home for Christmas on December 18th, and I had already streamed 250 hours.
That's a lot.
Over 10 hours a day.
That's hard work.
That's hard. And
that's fucking hard.
Every day, because I didn't have money for lunch, I would eat 2 packs of ramen. For dinner, I would eat 2 packs of ramen. That's all I had, pretty much.
And you were fine, right?
Yeah, because
were you fine mentally?
I wanted to do. There was probably some mental stuff based off of other people.
Yeah, other kind of
that said things to me.
Yeah.
My roommate at the time told me that he wanted to kill himself because of me.
Why?
Because he was crazy or wasn't in a bad place at the time.
Yeah. And I feel like hearing that. How's that your fault? First off,
I was like, all right, I'm gonna go stream. I'm gonna go sit in my fucking room. That's all I do, dude.
Literally, I would like almost like seeing that and hearing that. If you were doing that at the studio every day, I like not even and this
in a controlled purpose. It's like standard, yeah.
Yeah, I would walk in and be like that's like you doing a fucking bench workout at the gym when I walk in.
Yeah.
Like you're getting busy. I'm gonna go get busy too.
Yeah. Yes, I agree. Yeah, 100%. If I could be in a place where I walked in and, I walked in at 7, but then you walk in at 7:45, and you just see me grinding, or the vice versa, and I'm like, oh, I want a break, and I go look, it's like, well, John's still fucking working, I gotta do that.
It's like, that's what you should be doing.
I gotta be there, but I'm just not there, and I don't know what it is, John.
I'm trying to help you figure that out.
I know you are, but like, I don't know.
Have you had a moment where you've had like an epiphany?
No.
You need that.
Yeah, like, not recently. Like, you do not know how many times, like, with streaming, I was like, this is, like, I am here in the universe to do that. Like, I had that feeling. It's like, I'm supposed to be here because while I streamed, obviously on the internet there's negative shit, but I had way more positive stuff happen to me on Twitch than I did negative. Like, way fucking more. You know how many people privately DM me and it's like, dude, like, you are really helping me not do stupid shit right now. Like, mentally and, like, physically to themselves.
Because entertainment.
Because, like, they could turn to something that was there all the time, and when I wasn't live and people tried to get at me, like, I didn't ignore people like other fucking people do on Twitch and on Twitter. Like, I didn't blatantly ignore them. The only times that I would, like, shut them out would be, like, if they said some fucking stuff that I wasn't about.
That's like, oh,
but other than that, I tried to reply to everybody.
Yeah. Because that's what you would want.
If you because I think that, because I know how people function in this world, and I know how fucking streamers function in the world, their shit is on their Twitter, their Instagram, any analytical, any type of motivation from a like, a view, a click, a share, they were paying attention to. Now, there are some people, like I'm sure Ninja, just get, his name is mentioned every fucking day. He just can't get into how much people are talking about.
Or he doesn't want to.
Or he doesn't want to. But, like, and there are other streamers like that, but any person who had ever reached out to me, I probably messaged them back.
Just because it's just like,
I'm like 95% sure that I have responded to 90% of the messages.
That's a lot. 22,000 people. And that's what's interesting. You just kind of made me realize that streaming is more than just gaming. It was
I made real friendships.
It was impractical jokers to me, but like you were impractical jokers to these other people probably.
Yeah, to some extent. Dude, the other thing too was I got to do really fun stuff. Like, I did charity event. Listen to this. I didn't even talk about this. I got flown out. Someone paid for my flight. Someone paid for my hotel room at Disney in Florida. I went and did a charity event for Extra Life, which raises money for kids and kids' cancer and all that stuff. And I got to do it in Disney World. And they paid for like a hopper pass. And I got to go fucking be at Disney World for a day.
That's
Dude, I felt like a fucking celebrity.
My next goal is to get paid to go somewhere.
Yeah.
And film.
Yeah. I said this before, like, I have like this weird tick that I want to be famous. Like, I want to do some other shit. Like, if I wrote a book, like, I want to be famous.
Do you want to be famous, or do you want the opportunity to influence?
Yeah, I think that's that.
Because being famous means you got people that are listening.
Yeah, I think, yes. I want an influence sphere that gives me some form of popularity that feeds my ego slightly.
The truth comes out.
Yeah, like, I like to be I think everyone likes to be liked, but some people are really good about not giving a fuck. And I am good at, like if someone says negative stuff, I'm pretty good about not giving a shit.
Yeah.
Depending on who they are. Like, if it's my friend...
It's like, why the fuck are you saying that?
Or, like, my family, it's like, why are you saying that? But if it's some person that I knew in high school and I haven't talked to for 10 years, I don't give a fuck. If it's, like, it's at a grocery station and I'm being, like, weird.
Yeah.
For whatever reason. And they, like, someone might be embarrassed. I don't give a fuck. I'm never going to see that person again. I don't care. Like,
I'm
like that.
That's one thing I used to struggle with.
I do want to be liked, and I do want, like, what other people are thinking about you when you're walking in. Like, what's their people's story while there are people watching.
Which is crazy because, like...
It's insane, dude.
When you, like, think about it, because nobody's fucking looking at you. And nobody's thinking about you.
Yes.
But we're creating...
Halloween for me.
We're creating this, like... stereotype in our head, and we like are thinking people are thinking something of us, but in reality we not.
They're like, dude, should I get 2% milk or should I
exactly?
Yeah, 100%. I agree with that. But that's something that I've known for a really long time, and it doesn't really bother me that much.
Like, yeah, it's something I just figured out.
But I do, but I do like the idea of people knowing who I am.
Like recognized.
Yeah, like when I was recognized in Atlanta, it was so fucking cool.
You were like a little mini rock star.
Sort of, yeah. That's how it felt a little bit. Like, I was in the pool with people like they like the person that knew me like came to see. Like, she came to see that those people perform.
Yeah.
Like, I was sitting in the room with, like, the game's pros.
Do you know, like, the people that were there with you? Because it'd be interesting to see, like, how many of the people that you were with went on to continue and, like, where they're at now.
Some people have, but some people haven't. Like, I can't remember where all... Because I was in the hot tub with Eno, one of his teammates, and then, like, the Brazilian team. And there are a couple of them that still play.
Yeah.
But, like, Eno doesn't play anymore.
Why?
He just was done with it. He got what he wanted out of it. Was done. Which is a bummer because like, dang, he's playing. He's on salary to play for a team.
Did you get what you wanted out of it?
No. This is what happened. This is the start of the demise for because it ended in a way that I didn't want it to end. Like it ended on a downward slope. Like it wasn't
like a slow fucking.
It was a slow burning of an end. Like it was. So this is the start of the downfall for my channel. Not necessarily for my channel, but for my my want for
your passion for
passion for it. I was streaming on the Paladins game channel, so the channel that the game, like it's that game's channel, and then I stream on theirs to be a content creator. I was streaming on their channel, and this is what I was getting paid hourly to do. And I said something like, I just had gotten killed in the game. And I was like, these guys are raping me right now.
I remember that.
That's all I said, right? I didn't make or condone or do anything besides say rape, right? And I guess you could kind of make an argument that it's in a comedic way. But it's like, in the context of what I said...
It was no malice.
Yeah, like, it didn't mean... Like, I meant, like, these guys are killing me. That's in the context of what it was.
Like, they're fucking me up.
They're absolutely destroying me, right? And I didn't continue the joke. Like, I could have said whatever, right? But somebody, mod, so another person in the stream that, like, moderates the chat, but she also streams on the channel, started to get into, like, this verbal argument with me in chat of, like, 5,000 people. And nobody else was upset. Nobody else caught it. Nobody else knew. And she just started talking about it. And I was just like, you don't have any authority to tell me what I can't say. So, go away. And then I said, if you want to talk about it later, like, we can talk about it when the stream's done.
Yeah.
And we can talk about why you feel that I've done something bad. And see if we can come to, like, some sort of understanding. Well, she went and she sent the clip, because you can clip things on Twitch. She sent, like, the highlight and clip to Hi-Res.
Just the one part?
For. Yeah, just that part. She even went so far as going into, like, my Discord, which is like, you know what it is?
Archives?
Discord is like a group chat app.
Okay.
So it's like TeamSpeak and all these other curse and blah, blah, blah. Like, it basically allows you to have a channel that you can go into, and then that channel has a bunch of different places that you can text and type and chat in. She went in to mine, because mine was public, she went in and took screenshots of, like, conversations I had after the stream with my following, like, talking about just being like, why was she acting that way? I can't believe it. All of them were like, yeah, it doesn't make any sense. So she took, like, certain ones where I might have, like, said something that could at all help
paint
her,
the picture,
and sent it off to them. I woke up to an email that said that I couldn't stream on the channel anymore. And I was like, what? Why? And they were doing that. So then I finally had a conversation with one of the people. But I was like, dude, if you guys are going to get mad at me for this, what are you guys doing to the person who, like, blew that shit up because she's this for you too, and she wasn't acting respectful, all these different things. But then later she had the audacity to tell me that she didn't do it to get me in trouble. I was like, bitch, you told the only people who could.
Yeah, then, like, what did you do it for?
Yeah, what'd you do it for? Because what was it going to do? It wasn't going to stop me from saying what I said. And what I said wasn't meant to offend you because of the context of where it was at. The problem is that people take it and it's like, this is what it means to me, not even though I know he said it differently. We talked about that. There are several different words in the English dictionary that mean several fucking different things.
Like bitch.
Like bitch.
Bitch is a good one. Bitch
is a great one.
Have you seen that
one
video?
One of my favorites.
Have you seen it? Bitch. Bitch.
Yeah, that's huge. Like, if you're like, what's up, bitch, to one of your friends, right, on the couch, nobody would bat an eye. But if you change that and you film the exact same thing and it's your girlfriend, you're like, sup, bitch? You're like, what the fuck?
That's what I'm saying.
Do you see that?
Or just like, stop being a bitch.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Or like, stop being a bitch.
Yeah, like there are totally different things, or like, you know, there's a lot of different words.
That's why it's important for everyone to literally don't take everything at face value.
But sometimes do, like, you don't need to read into like this potential crazy madness that you think that this person is. Like, you're digging so far into that word, like, yeah, it has that meaning, but like read it with the other meanings that you were taught. Like,
read it differently.
Like at least look at it before you just lose your shit about it.
But then there's also where I try to always, the perspective is like maybe she's been through something.
I 100% get that. I get that, but we can't always project what has happened to us and like these bad things and assume that somebody who used one word that can be associated with that, that it was used against me to make me feel offended. Like it doesn't always mean that thing. Like it just doesn't.
Yeah. It means what it means.
It means what I said. Yeah. Like how did I say it, right? That's for example, like tone and cadence of like bitch. It can mean based off how you said it. Like, yeah, like it can mean totally different things, but people know that with that word. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was frustrating for me because I felt like I didn't have a say. I felt like
good though.
And so like afterwards I was like, all right, because at the time I was getting paid to do that for about 16 to 20 hours a week. So I was working a part-time job for like 15 to 20 hours a week so that I could get paid like I was working a full-time job.
Why don't you do that now?
I don't have a good answer for you for right now. I wasn't doing that before because I had a lot of shit that I had to make. I had to pay.
Yeah.
Yeah, right now, I don't know.
I was thinking about it on the way here.
If I quit my job right now and I started, let's just say,
what happens?
Because it's in the context of this, like I start streaming.
No, fuck it. Don't stream. Right now, you quit your job because you're fucking miserable. Go get a part-time job, right?
Yeah. No. I mean, I could do it, but I'm just saying, like, I know the shit that I would have to, like, push through if I just did it on a whim. If I had more of a plan.
That's what I'm saying. The last things that you had no plans for went the best.
Yeah, but that's such a risk, dude. Like, for something that I would be 100% willing to make that risk for something that I thought was worth it.
I think your sanity is.
Yeah, there is that.
I think you enjoying what you do every day.
Yeah, I don't know how people fucking did it, dude. Can you, like, the people that could just sit in a factory?
Because everyone's fucking miserable. Like,
I know, but how did they do it? They fucking did it.
Well, yeah, at the end of the day,
everyone just kill themselves.
Well, at the end of the day, yeah, you just do it because, like, that's what you do. And that's all that we thought we could do. But now we live in a time, and we said this the other day, that we have every fucking opportunity to do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah, there is a lot of it.
There's no fucking excuse for you. There was no excuse for me. The only excuse is me. At that time, it was me. I was bitching and complaining about my life, and
yeah, but all I'm trying to say that is different for you was like you knew what you wanted to go do. Like you knew that you wanted to do photos and stuff. I don't know that thing that I want to throw myself into.
Correct, but you also know that what you are doing now is getting you nowhere near closer to figuring out. You know that you don't like that shit.
Yeah.
So that's where it's like, okay, go get the part-time job, maybe related to, like, I don't know, isn't there radio stations around here maybe you can find a part-time job at?
Radio stations typically only hire interns.
If they get paid. I'm just saying, like, I feel like you could get a part-time job in an industry where you'd be more interested in going to work, while outside of that, you can then delve into...
Dude, I don't even have to be interested in the part-time thing if it allows me to do what I want to do.
Yeah, like, if you know it's for something, then it's like...
Yeah. Like if I thought that I could work with your dad and make that money by just lifting boards and cement and taking things to them, I would do that. But I don't, you know.
Just sitting here thinking about it. When you said what you said about that company where you found the leads in the mall.
Yeah.
And like then that executed into like whatever.
Yeah.
I was like, and it's similar because you did that with me for a second with those emails in the school districts.
Yeah. And
so it's like, it seemed like you're good at finding out stuff.
Yeah, I can.
Like if there's
find shit.
Like I didn't know you did that for that company, and so what if we did that for this, because ideally, have I ever told you like what I want to do, like as far as what I want to be?
No.
I don't know if it's Peter Pan or Robin Hood, the guy who steals shit and gives it.
Robin Hood.
Okay, I want to.
Damn it! I should have told you the wrong one just to make you be so stupid.
It's fucked up. I want to like. I ideally would never want to shoot a video that was like work. Like as far as like, I would rather do personal stuff and have so much business that I can give it to Chris.
Right.
Give it to Xavier. Yeah. Give it to like.
Yeah.
Connor.
You're like, I'm making $250,000.
Well, it's not even that. Like I don't like.
We kind of had that conversation in terms of
money's not important. Like. I don't chase. Every time I chase a dollar during these last 8 months, every time where I've been excited about a money figure, it has never worked out. Yeah. It's always not happened.
Yeah, I think, money, you need it. You don't need all of it, but you still need some.
You need money, but I've come to realize that you don't. Well, I'm not making a hell of money.
I know, but how long could you do what you need enough to do what you do?
I need enough to pay my bills.
Yeah, and eat and shit. Yeah.
And I'm very lucky as well because like I have a family.
Yeah, because like you couldn't continue doing what you're doing if in the next 6 months you've made $0.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I guess what I meant by that is more of I'm not chasing the dollar. I am chasing my like work, my quality of work and what I can produce. Because if I can produce a high quality video and I'm not focusing on how much I'm selling it for or however much I'm getting for it.
Yeah.
That one high quality video like I just did for the realtors, other realtors are going to see that and now it's going to reciprocate. Yes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So but if I'm focused on this dollar amount, and that's what I was doing. I was chasing money, trying to find deals.
Yeah, I would say that I'm not necessarily chasing money. I'm chasing the opportunity to make the money.
Trying to figure out what you can do.
Yeah, that's the whole reason, one big reason why I left Cinetopia for this job. Because I hated parts of Cinetopia, but I fucking love movies, right? Like, I hated having to work Christmas. I hate having to work Thanksgiving. I hate having to be there on the weekends. Like, I hated that part of it. I hated a lot of the fucking customers because they're big. Like, so fucking stupid. No. They can't read signs. They can't... I don't know how that got there.
It says women's bathroom, Rick.
No, like, they would literally... I don't even know how to explain this to you without it just sounding so fucking dumb.
That would have been a funny personal brand.
We had... we have a sign that would tell you... It was kind of like in an intersection to tell you where certain theaters were. So it had an arrow, pointing up for X theaters, an arrow pointing right, an arrow pointing left, all that shit. Right? And there was one that was pointing down. Right? And it said theater 14 or whatever. And then underneath it said in the dining room or in dining room or whatever. And someone was like, how do we get downstairs? And I was like, what? I had someone, because they didn't read dining room. They thought I was going downstairs, but there's no stairs or anything. I had somebody call and bitch at me because our parking lot was full, so she couldn't go to her Pilates class that was in the area. Like, in the same thing. Like, there are so many people who just bitch and complain about
their $6 coffee.
Yeah, exactly, because it's expensive and they're upset. And they're assholes. But, but every other part of the job, I really did like the people that I worked with for the most part, especially for, a 50-person company that's there at that location. I got to learn a lot of really new skills, so I didn't like it, but I didn't like that there wasn't a lot of money in it. I wasn't well treated. I didn't have paid time off. I didn't have a bunch of stuff. So there's other things that really sucked. No, I didn't feel like there was a good way for me to move up in the company. And so I left because I was like, hey, I'll be a contractor for Nike. This company is doing really well. And then later I learned that their shit is all sorts of fucked up too. And I'm like, I left because I wanted a better opportunity to make more money, not because I necessarily thought I'd enjoy the job. I do enjoy parts of the job, but I enjoy Cinetopia way more. In terms of every aspect.
You seemed like you enjoyed it more.
Yeah, but like I need to find what I want to go to every morning, and I enjoy the social part of it, or like the contract that I have to make with myself to be to make it workable, to make it valuable and give me what I need out of it. Because
I also think you need to stop thinking what other people are going to think.
There is some of that for sure.
That's the majority of like all of us. And why we don't do certain things is because we're afraid of like what people are gonna think. Because of it.
Yeah.
It is. It's like, 1,000%. Like
it's what are people gonna think, and can I deal with that, like mentally?
Yeah, but at the end of the day, like nobody really gives a fuck. They got their own life to worry about. If you're being an idiot, if you're being disrespectful, you're not being kind, like yeah, then like you should go fuck off. But if you're being kind and being genuine to people, and you're doing something that kind of is a risk, you'll find it surprising, dude. Like I just kind of thought about this. Is like when I quit, like when I fucking quit and like said I was doing this whole thing, was I scared? Yeah, I was scared because like I know what the fuck I was doing. But you'd be surprised at how many people were more like excited and not jealous, but like saying like, fuck, I want to be able to do that.
Yeah. I'm envious is the correct word.
That's a kind of a mean sounding word.
But it's not. Envious is like, I want what you want. I'm envious.
And I'm not saying people wanted what I want, but it's more that like, you know, saying fuck it and doing something different. And then it made me realize like everyone wants to do something that they're not doing right now.
Yeah.
Everyone just seems like they can't.
Yeah, I bet there are a lot of people out there who what they want to do they can't do.
Like, go to the NFL.
Right.
I don't think I want to go to the NFL. I watch football now, and I'm like, I hurt watching it.
Yeah, it's funny how that works. There's a lot of people that I know. I mean, even with like with games, like eventually he got to the point where he's like, I don't want to do that.
No.
I was like, damn, dude. But I would. I wish that this was the conversation that we had, or that I could have had 3 years ago. Like, I wish that everything that we had now, I had then. But this was the conversation. Like, if I had somebody at the time when I was streaming who was like, oh, I just got a studio and we're going to do a lot of creative stuff, we're going to create all this content, I would have been like, dude, I am going to blow up because now I have somebody who is learning and is excited and will want to do shit with me because I'm there. And I firmly believe for a really long time that if by miracle or by just like it's just working out, like I wouldn't have to work but I could still have the money to pay my bills. If I had a year, I think I would have been in a really good position.
I think if you would have continued, you'd be over 100K right now, followers.
It's totally possible, but
especially right now. Because
if I started to stream again right now, I'd stream on Mixer. It
would take over, in my opinion.
Dude, there's not much to take over. Like Ninja's there. Like,
not take over, and see that's where the difference is me. Like I'm not saying take over like at Ninja status, but I'm saying take over as a point of like we're gonna make enough money.
Yeah, I mean, I think
and be successful.
Yeah, I just don't know what.
You just needed a support system.
Yeah, one that I didn't have. I had a little bit of. I had a couple rungs on the ladder.
Yeah.
But I didn't have everything that I
and no one that's fully bought. That's how kind of I feel. Like I have a few people that like Corey Center is huge.
Yeah.
He's there like on the low a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
I haven't seen him one time.
I know. We and him, we talk about he's a numbers guy, and he's in the same kind of mindset as you kind of are. He wants to do his own thing. He works with JP Morgan. That's worse than fucking, like as far as corporate. But he's a great job, super smart.
Yeah, that's the hardest part though, and that's the other thing too. Is being like, oh, I make $60K and I can have all this shit. If I quit, I'm probably not seeing $60K for 2 years, 3 years.
But to me, it's okay.
No, it is, but it's such a hard thing. Like I went at Cinetopia, I was making like $20 an hour, and when I left to go to this company, I got paid $2 less, and I was like, I might not do it. Like I probably won't leave because it's $2 less. Stupid.
Yeah.
But it is hard, so you have to try and convince yourself. But like I said, if I had something that I was psyched about, like I really do like financial stuff. Like I really do like that idea, and I like to do it. But I'm not like, fuck yeah.
Yeah,
I'm gonna fucking kill this shit. Like I really do enjoy it, and I want to help people out.
You like the knowledge.
But I like the knowledge of it. I like being able to tell someone that they're fucking stupid for wanting to buy a car that they can't afford or want to get an apartment downtown that was going to cost you way too much money, you know, whatever that might be. Like I like being able to be that support system and being that knowledge center. And I think a lot of people don't realize how much money they actually have. Like how many people I know who like, I can't do anything, but they're at the club doing everything the night before, and they buy all their shit from fucking Victoria's Secret and super name brand. You know, they still have their iPhone and all that shit. Dude, you guys actually have a lot. You do. You're just spending it in the wrong place. You spent $400 at McDonald's in the past 2 months. That's why figure that shit out.
That dollar figure is irrelevant because it's just like it's not how much, it's like how you spend and how you save and how.
Yeah, I mean there is part of that for sure. But yeah, it was just like you guys actually have a lot. You can do a lot more with your money if you do this. Like I like that part, but I'm not like fucking fired up.
Do you know what gets you fired up?
No. I've struggled with it for so long.
Ever since streaming?
Streaming help find it and help lose it. Okay, I know a couple things that I would really like to do. But it's, like I said, we were kind of talking about this. Like, I just have this, like, I want to do A, I want to do B, I want to do C. And then I just get stagnant on fucking all of them. Because I'm like, where do I start with? How do I get, you know? But the main things were, like, I love writing. I always have. I love stories. I like to be able to potentially like, convey a message.
Yeah.
Plus, I really want my name on something. I want someone to be able to look at it and be like, who's Mitchell? And learn about me. And then, and like be psyched, like being famous or whatever. I don't think I want to be famous like Leonardo.
Yeah.
But I would like to have some, like
recognition.
Selfishly and egotistically, I'd like to have some recognition. So writing, and then I think somewhere in this scheme of streaming and content creation and podcast stuff, I really do like it. I really do enjoy it. And I would love to do that, but it's just like I don't know how to spin it in a way that's profitable in terms of being able to meet my needs, not my wants, so that I can continue to do it.
I think I think you could do it. Like, it's hard for me to even like, because I just think you can do it. You can fucking do it.
Mm-hmm.
And you really can. You can't tell me one thing other than like the money thing, but then we've said it right now. You could find a way to pay your bills. Yeah. So then what else? There's something else that either you're not admitting or that...
Fear. For sure.
Yeah. But like, you're smart.
But like, I do like this, but I don't have that. I can't quit my job, go part-time and stream.
No, I'm not saying that either. But I'm saying, as far as honing in on something, let's focus.
Yeah, but what is it, John? What's the thing?
Why are you so scattered, do you feel like?
Because I just like a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And you said it earlier, like or maybe not earlier, but you've said it before, like I'm always into like a bunch of different shit.
Yeah, you're very curious.
Yeah. And I just do. I get passionate. I'm a very passionate person. Like I'm like passionate in the terms of like maybe even obsessive. Like I really do like that stuff, which is why now that I have somebody who's like just as passionate about creation, not necessarily the things that I want to create, but about creating shit, it's like
it's time to get busy.
Well, do something. But I needed this shit 3 years ago.
No, you didn't.
No, I did.
No, you didn't. You needed whatever you got 3 years ago.
Got what I got.
3 years ago, I graduated college.
Yeah, I guess maybe if you were at the same, like I said, if you were at the same talent level and I had like that you are now with all the video stuff and pictures, and I had you when I first started streaming.
Oh yeah, you'd have been
Empire. Somewhere. I firmly believe that I could have done something in a very cemented way.
Do you feel like because you had the momentum?
The momentum, the passion, I was younger, so I felt like I had time to like do a lot of different things, and really push towards something. I still feel like I have a good amount of time to push through things and be, different or whatnot. But I have to do it in a way because I'm attached to other people, like that depend on me for their lives too. in a sense. Like what they're going to do, what their plan is moving forward.
Yeah, like you have to consider.
Yeah, I have to consider how it's going to affect them. In a sense.
I guess that's just where...
Like my girl, like Tanya's great, and she's like, "You, whatever you decide to do, I'll support it." But I know that if I was just like, "Hey, I'm going to quit my job tomorrow. I'm going to find some part-time to pay the bills, my bills, you know, and the other time I'm just going to fucking stream." They'd be like, "I don't know, dude."
You can't say that. You don't know that.
I don't know,
you made it
but
up.
I have a very good idea for it because of conversations I've had about streaming with them. But I'm only using streaming as an example because it's like
I know
the closest thing.
It's not streaming for you though. It's I think it'll hit me once we're done.
Yeah, probably.
Because I have an idea.
Yeah.
Because you can't go much longer.
Oh, dude,
Today I felt like I
laid on the ground in the office for like 20 minutes with my eyes closed and shit. I was like, I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do. And the only reason why I stayed as long as I did was because I had an appointment with somebody.
That's
but
all right.
I think I was like, I'm gonna go home soon, Johnny. And all right, I'm like, I'm leaving. I'm fucking leaving right now. Couldn't do it, man. And I have one more day in the office that I'm in before like I have to stay. Because my boss sits right there, so I have to stay for the whole shift, pretty much.
So how long until you just do you think? Like, what is it gonna take? Like, what is it gonna happen? What's gotta happen?
Take like a good idea, like a good Mitchell path forward. I haven't seen any bricks be laid yet.
Yeah.
A good brick, one solid.
You can see the bricks.
I can see them.
But don't know where they're how to.
But like they're like the bricks that are a little bit too far for me to long jump to. I need to come a little closer.
So you need to put your own down.
Yeah, but they gotta throw me some of that the cement.
No one's
because I keep putting stuff down, but it falls through the cracks. You know.
It's trash. You got a bumpy ass road right now. It's time to brick. Right? It's time to smooth this bitch out.
I gotta figure it out.
We need to call Jesse. Fix the road.
Jesse might be a good person to talk to about it.
To fix the road?
Yeah.
Maybe. Because I think you know already intuitively what you want to do.
I can't, in my head right now, like I feel like I wouldn't like hide it. I would just be like, that's what it fucking is. But I don't know what it is yet.
Fucking A, Mitchell Balf.
It's hard, dude. Life is hard.
Life is hard. Puzzle. Is it harder than you thought it was going to be? Yeah. Year to date?
Yeah.
I would have to agree with that because, yeah.
Yeah, it's way harder than I thought it was going to be.
It's not what we thought as far as school.
Yeah, and that's not to say I haven't had some really good shit.
Oh, yeah. And not to say this podcast is more of the real shit. We absolutely love our lives.
Yeah, I do really like my life.
I love all my friends.
I just hate one portion of it.
Yeah, which is not even just a job thing. It's a figuring out. It's a self-awareness thing.
It's money that comes in, but also like the entire everything that touches my life like gets affected by that thing too. And I want that thing to go away so that I can do my own thing, and then they can all fucking play again. Part of my brain's broken.
I think so.
My spirit. Someone has stolen one of my spirit legs.
You stole it.
Back. No,
dude. I'm sorry, but you are 100% in control.
Yeah, you are, but like, you have to make like everybody makes the best decision in the time, like at that time that they think. But hindsight's 20/20. Like you can always go back and be like, oh, you could have done something else, or I could have done whatever. But like, just because I chose this doesn't mean if I would have chose the other option, it wouldn't have ended up the exact same way.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Because like, if you don't know what it is, what you're gonna do, and like if there's a plan, like when I first started, like it was I'm gonna create the Airbnb of photography. Like that was the initial.
Yeah, it's still a really good idea.
Thought, and I haven't executed on that, but that was the only thought I had, and then I started knocking down the walls. But I guess I do now that I'm just thinking more about it. Is like, yeah, I guess step one would be to figure out a way to what you're passionate about, and Jay Shetty said this: what you're passionate about, and how can we make money off of it.
Right.
And I think the 4 questions were like, what are you passionate about? Like, what are you passionate about? Mm-hmm. What do you like? What do you love? What problem are you going to fix?
Yeah.
With that passion or whatever. And how you going to make money off of it. I think it was those 4 things that he rattled off.
Yeah.
To figure out what it is and which path to go.
Right.
So you got to fix a problem.
Yeah, I don't know if I have a problem to fix.
No, I think you do. Like I said, you bring enjoyment. You brought enjoyment to people.
Yeah. Yeah, I would like to continue to do that.
I think you do.
That'd be fun.
YouTube channel.
Dude, I've said this before. I don't enjoy editing videos. Yeah, I guess that's true. That is true.
Any more excuses?
Dude, you're not gonna want to edit all my YouTube videos. That'd be ass.
I'll start with 1. See how it goes. I always told you. I tell you, let's just start with 1.
Well, what I'd rather do, if I'm gonna do YouTube videos, then I'm gonna fucking stream.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like YouTube videos, like I don't want to do. That's why I like the live format so much, because I don't want to like rehearse stuff and get a clip and have to redo that clip or.
Well, not even rehearsing. I'm saying like more documenting.
I mean, I recorded everything that I had. Like every stream I had, I recorded it.
Really?
Pretty much.
Still have them?
I think so. On a hard drive somewhere.
That'd be cool to watch.
Yeah.
Because I thought you were still streaming.
I stream like 2 days a week, but it's D&D, and I've stopped for right now.
Well, let's shoot one where you're in the Infinity Wall.
Streaming in the Infinity Wall? Just
projected up on the wall.
Oh, that'd be cool.
It'd be sick. A fully immersive D&D game.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah.
If it would work, I don't even know if it would work, but that's the thing. That's the whole point.
Yeah, I don't know, man. You gotta figure out what it is.
I'm trying.
We'll figure it out.
We will.
Are you hungry?
I am. I was thinking about monkey subs.
Yeah, we could get monkey subs.
I'm not terribly hungry. I'm more like, I could eat. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm pretty hungry.
We can get monkey subs.
I'd hell cotton mouth. Or just dry mouth.
Yeah, same.
Rough. Well, we can end it there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if you guys have any ideas or words of support.
Oh, we would just love to, like, I mean, I know it's Mitchell's show, but it would just be interesting to hear anyone's thoughts or opinions about kind of very similar situations or things that they're kind of going 100%. Through. The biggest thing is, at least for me, is like everyone's going through shit. Mm-hmm. But everyone doesn't know that everyone's going through shit.
Yeah, they don't see it.
And so they think like we're the only ones that you think you're the only one like going through this. And I know that I don't know if this is gonna make sense, but like it's okay that everyone is going through shit.
Right.
And that you are.
Yeah.
You just gotta figure that out.
Gotta figure out what it is and how to. Yeah, that's true.
And quit your fucking 9 to 5.
Just let us know what you guys do to deal with like thoughts like these or conversations that you've had with friends, boyfriends, girlfriends, siblings, spouses, whatnot. Would love to hear it. And we will be back on Monday. Jesse's going to join us for that episode. I believe Jesse's going to be like quote unquote co-host, but only for Monday episodes. Like he'll always record with me on Sunday.
JB.
So we can start with JB and see where it goes. I'm working on a couple other people for September as well. But it'll probably be a lot of this kind of stuff, just getting people on and talking about whatever, even if they've been on before. The hope is to try and get as many new people on. But anyway, make sure to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram at Neighbor Podcasts. And you can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. God damn. Dude, there's been a lot of accidents. Not to continue a conversation, but...
I know, I've seen them.
Yeah, there's a lot.
I saw with you on the way here.
Yeah, just show some support. You guys have no idea how much I appreciate you guys listening. And one note is you guys have a lot of power to do a lot with anything that you think is entertaining. If it's this podcast or something else, word of mouth is huge. Posting that is huge. So have a good one.
Hey.